All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. The Indian Prime Minister is in Washington, and in a few hours from now, he'll be meeting with the American President Donald Trump at the White House. And this, of course, has set the stage for a crucial diplomatic exchange, as the two leaders are known for their very warm personal rapport, and they're preparing to navigate some pretty complex negotiations. But just a short while ago, the Indian Prime Minister met with the American NSA, the National Security Advisor Michael Waltz. Senior Trump administration officials ahead of the meeting have said that ties between India and the United States are the most critical bilateral relationship of the 21st century. And the two nations are moving towards signing new defense framework and defense procurement by India from the United States of America. Now, the Modi-Trump chemistry has been very evident in their previous encounters that were marked by some really spectacular joint appearances at massive rallies. The world, of course, witnessed the two leaders amidst the cheering crowds at the Howdy Modi event in Houston in 2019, and then a year later, the Namaste Trump event in India's Ahmedabad city. Now, both leaders call each other to be their close friends. Now, remember, the Indian Prime Minister will be the fourth world leader after the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, and Jordan's King Abdullah II to meet with Donald Trump in the United States in his second presidential term. The visit also underscores the importance that the Trump presidency accords to India and vice versa. India has moved strategically to smoothing potential friction points. New Delhi has demonstrated goodwill by lowering certain tariffs, and these preemptive measures aim to forestall potential demands from Donald Trump, who has not hesitated to weaponize tariffs against allies and adversaries alike. Now, the visit also comes against the backdrop of deportation of illegal Indian immigrants from the United States. Now, earlier today, a second flight with Indians deported from the United States to land in Amritsar. Now, remember, earlier in February, the first flight from the United States had landed, but the manner in which the illegal Indian immigrants had been handcuffed and then bundled up into a military jet has not been well received in India. The Modi government has had to face some pretty tough questions on the issue. At the heels of the current visit, the United States will be deporting a second batch of illegal immigrants back to India. And during the Modi-Trump meeting, the discussions will, of course, center on defense and security cooperation. A potential meeting with the Tesla chief Elon Musk has added a whole new dimension to the Indian Prime Minister's visit. So as India eyes for expansion in the electric vehicle sector, the billionaire has toyed with the idea of launching a more affordable model of all-electric Tesla cars in India. Now, Modi's schedule includes meetings with Trump's cabinet, U.S. business leaders, and also the Indian-American community. He's already held a meeting with the newly appointed director of the National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Behind the diplomatic warmth, the stakes are pretty high. And Trump is expected to reciprocate with a visit to India for the next Quad meeting, and both leaders appear pretty poised to maintain their strategic partnership despite the potential challenges. All right, now to give us more perspective in terms of what is expected to happen in the course of these meetings, we're joined by Voice of America's correspondent Jessica Stone, who's joining us live from the White House. Jessica, you've been tracking the developments in terms of what is, of course... Hello, Jessica. Now, in a couple of hours from now, we expect to have what are known as reciprocal tariffs that Donald Trump has a little while earlier, spoken about in his Truth social media platform. Give us a sense of what these reciprocal tariffs are likely to be.
Well, the way Caroline Levitt described the concept, and this really is more of a concept, and we'll have to see how it's actually implemented, is the golden rule that, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And so what I think we're going to see is tariffs slapped equally on countries that slap them on the United States on various goods. Of course, the major goods that go back and forth between U.S. and India are nuclear power reactors and their parts, gems, oil, gas, as well as pharmaceuticals. And so these are the areas I would expect to see targeted for for those tariffs. But having said that, we also know from Trump administration officials that they are giving the Indian government a very clearly stated path to reduce the deficit, which is a big irritant in all relationships that are bilateral between the United States under Donald Trump and their trading partners. And so they basically said, we will ask Modi to buy more oil, buy more potentially liquefied natural gas, and to buy more defense products in order to reduce that $46 billion trade deficit between the U.S. and India. Mohammed?
Interesting. Now, apart from this, what are the other engagements that the Indian Prime Minister is expected to have?
So he does have this meeting right now, as you mentioned, with Elon Musk. He's also already met with the National Security Advisor, Michael Waltz, and he's expected to meet with other cabinet officials. But the main part of the day is the Trump FaceTime, which will begin at 4 p.m. local time, so about 4.5 hours from now. He'll be greeted just to my left down the driveway at the stakeout position, and then there will be a press conference at 5 p.m. local time, followed by dinner between the two leaders. So it's a very truncated engagement, but certainly having spent so much time with national security officials, there is a clear balance of these meetings between strategic and economic. And so I think it's very clear from the briefing that Trump administration officials gave reporters a couple of hours ago that they see India as a partner that is indispensable in strategic matters, particularly within the context of the Quad and encountering China. So expect to see that defense cooperation deepen. And the United States is also signaling that through the IMEC, they want to partner with India more broadly in what they call spreading peace and harmony in the Middle East. And so they see India as an invaluable partner through that economic corridor that was proposed during the G20 when I was last with you. They want to continue that. They say they're committed to that and that they're committed to the relationship with India. Mohammed?
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Jessica, for joining us and getting us all those details. We'll, of course, come back to you as more details emerge in the story.
Always good to be with you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.